everyone, so I am here to give you guys a few tips on how you can start your journey to minimalism while avoiding a lot of the stress and overwhelm that often comes along with decluttering and kind of making a big lifestyle change. So here are my 5 tips for minimalism minus the stress and overwhelm. Number 1, before you do anything, understand that living a minimal life does not mean that you have to be uncomfortable. So I think there's this misconception that all minimalists walk around having just a handful of things, period. And they also give up things that they love in the process. And for me, and I can only speak for myself, that is not the case for me. I don't consider myself an extreme minimalist, but I am practicing minimalism right now, and my entire wardrobe fits in a carry-on backpack, but I still have lots of options and things that make me happy. Another thing you'll notice in this video, as well as other videos, is I still have my hats. I love hats. Like, that is my favorite accessory, and that was just something that I wasn't willing to give up, and honestly I don't have to. When I go through the airport, as of right now, I have I think 4 hats, and when I go through the airport, they all stack on top of each other because they're the exact same shape, and people look at me and laugh, or some people think it's funny, whatever, but I'm like, your girl about to be going through security with these 4 hats because they're coming with me everywhere. Another big part that people need to understand is you want to make sure that you are setting yourself up for the best possible life. So for me, exercising is a big part of that, and I am a sweater. For whatever reason, like, I did not get the good gene where people can just like go run 3 miles and barely break a sweat. That's not me. I sweat a lot. So I knew that a sustainable wardrobe for me was not going to consist of only like 1 or 2 workout outfits. So I do have some lightweight exercise clothes that I can like fold up and put them in a small compression pack, but I have options because I sweat through my clothes after 1 exercise and I need to wear something else, and I'm not trying to wash clothes literally every single day. So those are a few areas where I wasn't willing to just give up everything in, but that may be different for you, it may be the same for you, whatever. But understand that it doesn't mean that you have to be uncomfortable. You can still live with a lot less, but still have an enjoyable life without feeling like you're inconveniencing yourself by having so few things. Number 2, when it comes to decluttering and getting rid of all of your belongings, or the majority of your belongings that you have now, you do not, I repeat, you do not have to do it overnight. There's no rush. There's no rush. So there's no reason to get rid of everything in one swoop. If that's what you want to do, that's cool. But if you're anything like me, you will get extremely overwhelmed trying to go from 100 to 0 in a day or 2 or even a week. So for me, what I did, since I knew that I was going to be making this lifestyle change over a year in advance, I started doing like quarterly purges. So every couple of months, every 3 months or so, I started pulling out everything and going through my clothes, or looking at furniture or just random belongings that I had around the house, like decorations, jewelry, all of that. And that worked for me. Another tip that I would recommend is you can break it up. You don't have to just pull every single thing out at once and say, okay, I'm gonna do furniture, clothes, shoes, all of that in the same weekend. Maybe one Saturday you look in your closet and go through your shoes and get all the ones that you don't want out. Maybe the next Saturday you go look at your tops. The following you look at your pants. Whatever you want to do, but just break it up, and I think that it makes it less overwhelming. Number 3, stop lying to yourself. Please stop lying to yourself. I did this for so long. I would look at clothes that have been hanging up for 3 years, and I'm like, but I may wear this, you know, to this event, or may take this on vacation, or may do this, blah, blah, blah. Girl, you're not gonna do it. throw it away. And by throw it away, I mean donate it or sell it or get rid of it in a sustainable way, preferably not in a landfill. But yeah, it's like you're not going to use it, and you have to just be honest with yourself and just draw a line in the sand and get rid of those things, and you're gonna feel so much better in the end when you do. Number 4, what you should own should be reflective of your lifestyle. This is so important. There was a time where I had all of these like really cute fancy dresses that I got on sale, and they were super cute, and I wore them to like a holiday party here or there. But the problem with that is, how often am I dressing up? Very rare. If you're not going to fancy cocktail parties and lawn garden parties every weekend, like, you probably don't need a bunch of cocktail dresses and gowns. You just don't. And that doesn't mean that you underdress when you eventually get invited to these events. What it means is maybe go rent something. So what I did was I did rent the runway for about 6 months while I was transitioning my wardrobe, and it was honestly amazing because I was getting rid of a lot of things, but I did have some like cute events that were coming up that I wanted to, you know, dress up for. So what I did was I just rented something. So I was able to have the variety and just give it back in a week or so. And that was amazing because it allowed me to still express myself through fashion and look cute at the events that I was going to without adding yet another one-time, one-off piece to my closet. Another thing to keep in mind is if you do change jobs, for example. I used to work in a more corporate style office, and I dressed business casual every single day. So I had a lot of cute blazers, I had a lot of slacks, and I was just like a little bit more dressed up than I normally would on a weekend. So I felt like my wardrobe had my business casual work clothes. I did have a few business formal suits for like interviews and things like that I had done previously. I had my just regular weekend or going on trips clothes. I had going out clothes. Like, I had so many different categories of things. Then I started working at a startup where it was casual 24/7, and I still held on to my business casual clothes and these suits for years. They just sat in a bin. I was like, oh, I don't know, like I may go back to like the corporate world, or I may interview again at some point. Like, I don't know, I may want to keep these. But the truth of the matter is, if you have something sitting around for like 2 or 3 years, you're probably not gonna wear it again. And if you do, is it really necessary to hold, I'm talking probably 40 items between tops, bottoms, shoes, outerwear, blazers, all of these items? Is it worth it to just hoard 40 items that you're not gonna wear for years? Probably not. So if you change jobs and you don't need all these fancy pants clothes anymore, maybe it's time to donate them to someone in need who can benefit from those clothes. And that way you can clear out your closet space. And if you ever go to a one-off networking event or whatever, just rent something. And number 5, instead of focusing on the process, which can be extremely stressful for a lot of people, focus on the end result and the beauty that's on the other side. And this is so key for me because I am not that girl who has that gene like Marie Kondo. Shout out to you, girl. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how some people are just excited to declutter. That has never been me, and it is very, very stressful. So if you're also like that, don't focus so much on the process, but like keep reminding yourself of like, yes, getting rid of these things is gonna set me up in the future to be more relaxed, and I'm gonna feel so much better when I don't have all of this clutter and I don't have all of these belongings. So when you keep focusing on that, I feel that it keeps you motivated, you know, and it keeps those good vibes going that you need on those weekends when you're focusing on putting everything in those piles of the giveaway, the sale, the donate, whatever. So that concludes this video, and I hope that these tips are helpful for you guys. Like I said, this process worked for me just because I know that this can be extremely overwhelming, and I was overwhelmed at first, but I figured out that these were kind of the things that I needed to do to make this easier for me. So I hope that if you're anything like me, that this process helps for you as well. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more tips and updates on my minimalist journey, and I look forward to chatting later.